Oh, crap.
What did you do?
I forgot to mute the YouTube. I was off to a professional start, and I forgot to mute YouTube.
You for real. We're doing so good. So good.
I was so close.
And you forgot to mute YouTube.
Right. And the person you're hearing from is my fabulous co-host from Near Mint Condition, Omar. Omar, how's it going?
It's going well, man. It's we just got together on Monday. Feels like yesterday, but it was really Monday. And but things are good. Things are good. So tonight, our episode is brought to you by the wonderful folks at In Stock Trades. www.instocktrades.com is where you go get your trade paperbacks, graphic novels, omnibuses for up to 50% off. And if you use right now, up until tomorrow, the discount code OmniBrosLive, all one word, not case sensitive, you get an additional 4% off of that. So let's
you can get up to, don't forget, you get $50 off. At $50 or more gets you free shipping within the United States with fabulous packaging and fabulous customer service. That's instocktrades.com. Okay, I just had to get that out.
$50 off? What are you talking about?
I know. $50 or more gets you free shipping in the U.S.
What kind of code did you get?
Type in Jess is high and you get $50 off. Okay, that's a joke. Don't even do it.
Somebody was asking earlier if my kids are doing. Yeah, she is doing better. Thank you, Jesse says. Say what? Kid's doing good. She's doing better. She has strep throat, so that's excellent.
She's up and about.
She's up and about. She's playing. My wife and my two girls went out to go get ice cream. So my oldest daughter just had a play. We just got back from a play. So
nice.
All right, my man. We look like we have some solicitations for the month of July, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That is correct. I also have DC Comics for June, but we might as well concentrate on July.
Yeah, I think we've talked about the June ones. It's the July solicitations that just came out, so we'll talk a little bit about that.
Who do you want to see first?
Let's look at DC. DC always releases their stuff either on Monday or Tuesday, and Marvel always follows suit, like in Wednesday or Thursday. Okay. There is also, if you guys are not aware, every year for the last 7 years, ever since I've been a member of that forum, the Marvel Masterworks forum has been doing a secret ballot where you vote and you get to choose. Kind of like an omnibus. They do a top 50 most wanted omnibuses. And what's cool is some of them, it's fun to see which ones actually come to fruition within the next year. They are, I believe, what was it? The last time I looked, it was like number 20 or number 15. So they're almost there. They're almost at the top 5. There have been some interesting things I did not see in the top 50, but it's pretty cool. I think Jess and Riley are going to talk about that sometime this weekend. So stay tuned to this channel. OmniBros Live, what you're on right now.
Excuse me.
Good God. Okay. We good?
I'm making just mistake after mistake tonight. Do you see the solicits in front of you? Did I do it right?
Yeah. Did you just do that without directions?
I did. Woohoo! How about that? Training wheels are off, brother.
Oh my God. Holy shit. It only took you, 6 months, I think? That's pretty good, though.
7 months, yeah.
All right, so let's get down to the collected editions stuff.
I had it there at collected editions, and of course, it popped. There it is.
You got it. There we go. And I honestly, dude, that mad props. And look, and you put the white block on you, meaning that even when I talk, the solicits don't go away. Holy shit, you could do this on your own. You don't even need tech support anymore.
I graduated from tech support. Yay, me.
All right, so first order business, more of that goodness. Aquaman by Peter David, book 2. Hell yes. Stuff that has never been collected ever anywhere. And if you have never read any of Aquaman by Peter David, you're probably missing out on what I think is probably the best run on Aquaman. And this collects Aquaman 9 through 20 and the annual number 1. Very cool.
Ooh, I already see something I can't wait for.
He's got a harpoon for a hand, man. How badass is that? Um, Batman Arkham Penguin. What is this stuff?
Bill
Joker.
Finger.
Oh, then this is old.
Oh, it collects his first appearance.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Detective Comics 58, that's quite a gap. 610 to 611, 824, Batman 155, 374, and 548 to 549. I think the only book I've read here was Joker's Asylum Penguin #1.
Batman 155 is his first Silver Age appearance.
Look at you, Mr. Wiki.
I have that issue. That's why I know.
Any reason why you think they're doing this? Is it because of the Gotham TV show? It is called Batman Arkham Penguin.
Yeah, could be.
I don't know.
I don't know whatever works in the minds of collection editors. So it could be. Maybe they're going to start doing trades of all the villains like this.
Yeah. See, I don't like character-centric trades. I'm more of a guy that likes chronologically ordered trades in hardcovers. That's why I get Omnis instead of, yeah. But that's me. You know, whatever. If you're a huge fan of the Penguin, this is for you. Hey, now, more Astro City.
This is what I'm looking forward to.
Why the hell don't we have an omnibus edition of this stuff? I don't know yet.
Mm-mm.
There's nothing, like, legal going on with Astro City, right? Like it's always belonged to Kurt Busiek, no matter where it goes, right?
As far as I know, yeah.
Whether it was at Image or DC. Okay, that's what I thought. Batman and the Signal. I don't think I've read any of this stuff. What the hell? Collects Batman and the Signal 1 through 3.
I haven't read this at all.
And and stories from All-Star Batman 1 through 4 and 6 and through 9. Thought All-Star Batman took place in the All-Star universe.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Now, I have read All-Star Batman 1 through 4 and 6 through 9, so this just must be a collection of the Signal, which is why it's called Batman and the Signal.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nothing gets by me.
Okay. Batman Beyond #3, The Long Payback. I'm hoping that these get hardcovers. I know it's just wishful thinking, but I've been wanting to read these. I'm a big Terry McGinnis fan, so any books that feature him, I do want to read. Oh, Batman by Doug Moink. Jess, help.
I always say Mensch.
All right, I was off. Mensch. And Kelly Jones, Volume 2. I have Volume 1 in hardcover, which means I probably need to pick that up. And this is the books I was telling you about last week, Batman and the Cape Crusader, Volume 1. This collects things post Crisis on Infinite Earths and post Year 1. So I will be picking that up. I'm glad DC is finally doing that.
Yeah, that's a good era.
Here you go, Jess. Woo-hoo! Batman, the Golden Age, Omnibus Volume 6. Does it make you happy to have so many Golden Age and Silver Age Omnis?
When we get into Batman and Superman Silver Age, I will be the happiest guy on the planet. I am so happy that Legion of Superheroes and Supergirl from the Silver Age have gotten Omnis. So this is exciting for me. It would have been even more exciting had I been 13 years old and gotten this stuff, but I'll settle for it at this age.
Man, what kind of dope were you slinging at 13? These books are $125.
Christmas and birthdays, dude.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Dope.
All right. Then we have Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Companion Deluxe Edition. I'm still on the fence about this one. This is what I like to call the Red Skies Omnibus. This is the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossovers. Pretty much, it just had the stamp in a Crisis on Infinite Earths event, even though it had nothing to do with the crossover, with the exception of maybe the Red Skies. That's where the term Red Skies came from. So I don't know. Maybe for me, $75 though. That's a pretty good price. Odds are, in stock trades might have it for half off. Might be hard to pass off. So I'll think about that one. Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 2 hardcover, collects the second volume, hoping that they'll do an Omni of this. That will collect the first one, and then the Batman Adventures and animated Ninja Turtles crossover, and then this. That would be really, really cool. Hey, here's one for you.
Yay! My favorite writer. I love Marguerite Bennett.
Your favorite writer?
Okay,
Jesus
one of
Christ,
my
you've
favorite
been
writers.
collecting
Sorry.
comics. You've been collecting comics for like 80 years.
I know. Well, shut up. She's one of my favorite writers. Let me change that.
Okay.
One of my all-time favorite writers. She's great.
I don't doubt that. Man, 6 issues though for $30. Good gosh, you really gotta like that artwork.
I do. I love the story and the artwork.
You ever read the next one, The Dead Man by Neil Adams?
No, and I'm not going to read this.
Okay. Pass for Jess. I know nothing about it. Now I know you read this stuff, right? Exit Stage Left, the Snagglepuss Chronicles.
I haven't read it, but I definitely want to read it. That is definitely something I am into.
You're a big fan of the, like it's Hanna-Barbera stuff?
Yeah.
With DC?
Big fan of Mark Russell's writing. This is going to be great.
And then we have another character-centric book, The Flash Rogues, Captain Cold trade paperback. Captain Cold, because of Jeff Johns, became one of my most favorite villains. I don't think I'll pick that up, though. But I'm definitely picking up the next one, and that is Flash Rebirth Deluxe Edition Book 3. And that collects the issues 28 through 38. Keep giving them to us. Come on, DC. We want all DC Rebirth in hardcover and
totally.
Green Arrow. That kind of tricked me, man, because that is Mike Grell on the cover, but it is the Green Arrow Rebirth by Benjamin Piercy. It just has a cover by Mike Grell, and this collects 33 to 38. Now, that did get resolicited for a hardcover, so I'll be picking that up. And this is you, written all over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Harley and Ivy meet Betty and Veronica.
That's so wacky that I can't wait to read it.
It's all you, man. Now you pass on these, right? The trades, because you want to wait for the deluxe hardcovers?
Correct.
Of Harley Quinn. Okay, so this is... it's Frank Terry, right? New writer.
Yeah, that's the new writer, uh-huh.
Now, I am going to pick up his Omni that comes out next... I think it's... No, 2 weeks from now. And that is the Weapon X Omnibus.
Right.
Really like that story. I'm not a fan of these unwrapped books, but there are fans in the group, and I think that's awesome. This one's $35 for Infinite Crisis. I assume 1 through 6, right? It was 7 issues. Art by Phil Jimenez, George Perez, Ivan Reyes, and others. And the covers by Jim Lee, of course. Now, people seem to love this series, Injustice. Volume 2. Oh, Tom Taylor writes these? No, I really like Tom Taylor.
Yeah, Injustice 2, Volume 2. This is the second series.
And then Injustice 2, Volume 3, hardcover. Are you picking these up? Like,
I picked up the first season or first series, and I have to read it before I go on. But I do love Tom Taylor, but I have to read it before I go on.
Now, what's the sell on these? Isn't it based on a comic book?
Yeah, the Injustice comic book. No,
that was stupid. It's based on a video game, I mean?
Yeah. I believe, it's based on the Injustice video game, only it's the story, of Superman punching a hole through the Joker and taking over the world in his fashion, where he goes nuts.
Okay. Cool. And JSA by Jeff Johns, Book 2, trade paperback. And that's probably my favorite Jeff Johns stories that he's written. Legion of Superheroes, Silver Age. You're passing on this because I think you already have the Omnibus, correct?
Correct.
New Gods by Jack Kirby. You're passing on that because you own the Fourth World Omni?
I do not own the Fourth World Omni. I sold it on the group. People are going to rip me to shreds, but I had to admit, I'm just not the biggest Jack Kirby writing fan.
Writing, okay.
Is right. Yeah, love his art. Not a fan. Wasn't a fan back when I was a kid, and I got all the books and tried to figure out what the hell was going on in them, and I'm still not sure.
Well, you're a smarter man than I am, because sometimes I just punish myself and keep going with them. Surely I'm the problem. I'm the idiot that can't figure out the smart writing because everybody else seems to think it's great. That's why I own so many damn books and I have a hard time letting go of things. The New Teen Titans Volume 9. I hope they keep making omnis of those because they are wonderful, wonderful stories. Scalped Book 3 trade paperback, collecting 25 through 34. I think that's the same amount that the hardcovers collected. So these are just the trades of the hardcovers?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And then we have Supergirl Silver Age, which you also already own the Omni, correct?
Correct.
Here's a story featuring one of my favorite characters, Booster Gold, so Action Comics Volume 5. I think the Volume 3 hardcover has already been solicited, and it contains the story. I don't know how they'll handle it after Action Comics 1000, however. Ooh, Superman Volume 6, Imperious Lex. Collecting issues 33 through 36 and 39 through 41. I wonder if they're leaving out 37 and 38 to put in the Super Sons Omni.
Ah, good point.
And Tales of the Batman, Gary Conway, Volume 2 hardcover.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I'll pass on that one, though. Wonder Woman, Diana Prince, the 50th Anniversary Omnibus. What is this stuff here?
This is something I'm going to skip because...
Is this when she was a secret agent?
Yeah.
Okay.
And God rest his soul, I just never dug Mike Sikowski's art. Even with Dick Giordano's inks over it, not a fan of his art at all. It took me right out of the story, and I read it back when it was coming out, and I just not a fan.
Yeah, I know nothing about that era other than Fu Manchu, right? Wasn't that one of the things on there? Maybe I'm getting my my subtle racism. No, I Ching. That's what it was. It was I Ching.
Ching, yeah.
Fu Manchu. I think that was another character. All right, Sandman Overture, J.H. Williams, Gallic God. His art is amazing, but I don't have the room, and apparently, good Lord, the money for that.
Yeah, right.
Awesome if you do. All right, and that is it for the DC. No, wait. Is it? Scroll down and see if there's any Vertigo stuff, sir. Sometimes they like to add the Vertigo stuff at the bottom. I think we went through it. Oh, no, we did, because, yeah, Scalp was on there. I'm an idiot. Next.
No, I'm just looking at these Harley Quinn figures here. Holiday variant.
Yeah, that's all you need is limited 500. That's going to be a nice
ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to get those. Okay, so you ready to go to Marvel?
Let's do some Marvel. Marvel solicitations. Oh, look, and you're already here, kicking it off with one of the most exciting books I'm excited for. This is huge. This is the X-Men Mutant Massacre Omnibus. The first thing that I want to point out is the fact that they're using the word omnibus on a reprint. Well, it's not technically a reprint. It is the Mutant Massacre, but adding the stories that were not previously collected in them. Because the original Mutant Massacre, I think, was $50, and it didn't. It just collected the X-Men X Factor stories with one of the same thing as the New Mutants in the Power Pack. But this is huge because now it starts with issue 210 and it goes all the way to issue 219, lining it up perfectly with the beginning of the Fall of the Mutants hardcover. So as I mentioned previously before, like maybe this is Marvel's way of like, hey, people seem to be buying these Omnis, and people seem to like X-Men. How about instead of, just reprinting this Mutant Massacre, we just kind of line it up to go with maybe a X-Men Volume 4 or a John Romita Jr., Chris Claremont-centric omnibus, which would be great. I don't know if it's going to be between Volume 3 and this Mutant Massacre. I don't know if it's going to be one or two Omnis, honestly. Marvel seems to like money, and they know we're idiots, and we will buy them. Because, technically, they could pump in so much crap in there to fill up 2 different Omnis. They could put the Iceman miniseries. They could put all those Marvel 2-in-1s. It's really up to them. They could technically fit it all in one Omni. But I see them doing 2. Like, I can see them putting in just a bunch of useless crap. And then speaking
Boy,
of Viking,
you can always tell when Omar's wired up when he comes across an X-Men Omni.
yeah,
He just goes off like a Roman candle, man.
I love X-Men. All right, so then we have the Marvel Knights by Joe Quesada Omnibus, which all this is really is Daredevil stuff.
Right.
Collecting 1 through 15, which in Daredevil 1/2, which was previously collected in the Daredevil Volume 1 by Joe Quesada and Kevin Smith. Now, I'm a big fan of that story too, the Kevin Smith run. I was not a big fan of Daredevil Father, which this also collects. And what else? Is that it? Marvel Knights Double Shot #1, Authentics Daredevil 1. 720 pages, $100 is a pass for me.
And now what's this book?
This is the second half of Hickman's run.
Oh, Architects of Forever or whatever?
Yeah, so it's volume 2 of S.H.I.E.L.D. is what this is. So there's already been a volume 1 collected of his I think the first 6 issues.
Yeah.
And then this collects the second half of his stuff.
And that was called Architects of Forever? Is that right? Yeah, all right. So this
something
is
like that.
Half.
Yeah, I was hoping that they would do an all-in-one, charge you $50, but they went ahead and
solicited. I'm just happy to get the second half of the story.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure lots of people already been waiting on that one. Silver Surfer and by Dan Slott and Mike Allred. I'm still on the fence about this one.
Oh, this is a solid buy for me.
So you've read this stuff?
I have not. I can't wait to read it.
Never mind. And I was like, sell it to me.
It's Dan Slott and Mike Allred doing the Silver Surfer, dude.
Oh, come dude, sold.
That's all it takes for me. I love Dan Slott. I love Mike Allred. I love the Surfer. So
okay, see, I like all three, but that formula could also go bad. So I don't know. It's a maybe for me. Unlike this right here, Cable Soldier X, which I know is not incredible. The story itself is actually pretty solid. It's Igor Cordy's artwork in this. Igor Cordy was, for some reason, out of nowhere, was the Marvel go-to X-Men penciler during the Grant Morrison run on X-Men. On New X-Men, whenever they needed a backup artist, he was there. Apparently, this guy was just fast. Like, he literally was drawing 4 books at one time in 1 month. Now, when he concentrated in, because he was doing Extreme X-Men, he was doing this, he was doing backup issues of New X-Men, and then there was another series that he was doing. I'm like, holy shit, I don't like this guy's artwork, and he's everywhere. Apparently, when he focuses on his art and takes his time, he's really, really good. But this stuff was just so bad.
And you're going to buy it anyway, though.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Fucking Cable goes to Peru, dude. Got to represent where I'm from. So this collects the final issues of Cable, and then when it goes over to the title Soldier X until the finale. So, yeah, I'll be getting that. Have you been reading Coates' Black Panther?
I have not.
I haven't either, and I need to pick it up because I heard a lot of good stuff about it.
Right, me too. It's one that I own and just haven't got to yet.
And he's the guy that's going to be taking over Captain America, right?
Oh, is he? Okay, good.
I
lost track of that whole thing.
Yeah. And then we have more Marvel Masterworks for you guys. All 30 of you that collect that. That's awesome.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to Doctor Strange Volume 2. Volume 1 was awesome.
So this collects the remaining Jason Aaron stuff?
I believe so, yeah. And then
the fill-in
takes over.
Fill in by Robbie Thompson and Catherine Inman. Because what's his name takes over? It doesn't he? Cates?
Cates, I think, yeah.
Yeah. That's after this run, though. And then we have Star Wars Volume 8, which is another great series, hoping to see an Omni of sometime. Speaking of Omni, maybe we'll see a second Omni of Darth Vader. Now,
here's a Volume 1 hardcover of Darth Vader. I was not aware of this. By Charles Soule. This has to be good.
I haven't read any of this stuff. I've read the
either.
I've read the Mark Waid stuff, but not this run. What is Venom? Along Came a Spider. Could Marvel be trying to cash in on just random? Yep, just random Venom miniseries. Venom the Hunger 1 through 4, Venom Along Came a Spider 1 through 4, and Venom the Hunted 1 through 3. Um, I try to read Venomized, and it just got so stupid. I'm not a fan of that book.
Okay, I won't get it then.
Well, I mean, don't judge me. Like, but
well, you're right.
Don't judge it by like what I'm not getting. They're the big Venom crossover in X-Men Blue, and they got taken by the symbiote, and I have no idea, nor do I care. And I try to read one comic of that. It could have gotten better. And then we have Venom Dark Origin by Zeb Wells. I'm not the biggest Zeb Wells fan, but I do like Angel Medina's art.
So what are you going to do?
I'll wait for you to buy it, and then you can tell me how bad it was. All right.
Forget that.
Old Man Hawkeye. Chichetto's drawing that? I forgot that. I do love that dude's artwork. He was the guy that did Punisher with Rucka.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing artist. Amazing artist. I wish he was on another book. I don't know how I feel about Old Man Hawkeye. I think, what's his name really like? Riley really liked it, at least the first comic. Right. Champions, I'm still reading that. I'm hoping they'll solicit like a hardcover for that because it's a really fun book. Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man, Volume 3. I don't read that, so I don't know what that is. What is this?
I don't know. It's by Chip Zdarsky, though. It's probably pretty good.
Adam Kubert on art with Joe Quinones. I don't know who that is. So they brought back Spectacular Spider-Man, huh? And it looks like the legacy numbering, too. Then we have Daredevil back in black. Daredevil always goes back to black because that costume from Fall from Grace is badass. Even though they'll never bring him back. Whoa, collecting Daredevil 595 to 600. I haven't read Charles Soule's run on it yet.
I have not either. I'm waiting for a thick OHC for that.
I am a huge fan of Christos Gage, so huge fan of his stuff. Rise of Black Panther. This is another Coates book.
Here's a book that has Gio's name all over it.
Lockjaw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably me too. I love Lockjaw, so I'll probably get that.
Yeah, you go ahead.
It's Lockjaw, man.
Yeah, okay. Lockjaw 1 through 4, material from Girl Comics number 2, Original Sins 1. It's all over the place too. And Marvel Legacy number 1. This is the book that I'm wondering why the hell was $50 for the hardcover and the trade paperback's $30 because all I see here is Marvel Legacy 1, Foom Magazine number 1, and the primer pages. But the primer pages I didn't think were that many. Here's a book that nobody knows what to do with anymore. X-Men Blue, Volume 4. The original 5 are gone. Like I said, they were captured by the symbiotes, and I don't fucking care. 23 to 28.
You're still going to get it.
Oh, I'm still going to get it because I'm a piece of shit, the idiot. And Volume 6. I kind of... Guggenheim's X-Men Gold is actually hit and miss with me. I really want to like it, but man, X-Men is just so heartbreaking to read sometimes. X-Men Adventure Digest. I think it's the First Class stuff, isn't it? Yeah. X-Men First Class 5 through 7. X-Men Origins Complete Collection. It's pretty interesting that they now decided to reprint those. Those books have been out for about 10 years now. Astonishing X-Men by Charles Soule. Yeah.
What about it? Is it any good?
I think it's okay. I think Riley likes it though. Professor X is back and he is inhabiting Phantom X's body.
Phantom X. Okay.
And this is I think this collects the Return of Proteus, if I'm not mistaken. Who was one of my favorite villains, but I think I don't know. Maybe the stories aren't just properly written in that comic. Let's see. What else we got? Destroyer by Robert Kirkman.
That's a pass for me.
Yeah, me too. I think this is an old story too. I think this is like 10 years ago or something, if I'm not mistaken. On sale August 2018. Yeah. It's from Destroyer 2009. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, no thank you. Hulk by Mark Waid and Gary Duggan, the complete collection. That collects Hulk 1 through 16 and Original Sin 3.1 through 3.4 and Annual 1. Holy shit, that's a big collection for $40. I would get it, but I do. I have, yeah. I own the small trades, and I thought they were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I like Mark Waid a lot.
Me too.
Brute Force. Ooh, I do like that team. Simon Furman and Roger Stern. Simon Furman is the guy that wrote some of the best Transformer comics from the UK. And Roger Stern, I mean, do I really need to try, like, sell Uncle Raj to anybody? Everybody should know who he is by now, right? Wrote one of the best Spider-Man stories. A huge chunk of Avengers. I'm surprised we don't have an Avengers, like, omnibus by Roger Stern. But I'm sure it's coming. Captain Marvel, the Carol Danvers years. Brian Reed. I did not like these, but I didn't like his writing, but I loved Aaron Lopresti's artwork. Oh, and then Greg Ticini. That's right, yeah. I think he only wrote like 50 issues, or there were only 50 issues of these, so they should have just one more trade. You getting these, Jess?
I already have them in hardcover.
Okay. Secret Invasion, Rise of the Skrulls. Man, they're really pumping out the Secret. We're having a Secret Invasion Omni. It's almost like if Marvel's trying to tell us we might see a Skrull on a certain Marvel Captain movie. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Cloak and Dagger, Predator and Prey. They're having their own TV show, so it makes sense that this is coming out. This makes no fucking sense to me, but hell yeah. This is the Wolfpack by Larry Hama. I remember this stuff from the 80s. And it collects Wolfpack 1 through 12 and the graphic novel Wolfpack, which is where I first started. And the Marvel Comics presents stories 11 and 23. I grew up reading this stuff, so yes, that's a buy for me. Warlock Second Coming. Oh, I think this is the first time we've seen this collected. This is a series that came out in early aughts, if I'm not mistaken. Because like Warlock was just gone. Of course, so are most of the cosmic characters from the Marvel Universe. I found this very odd that they brought him back this way. And this is by Greg Pak. Charlie Adler. Yeah, the cover's what sold me. I remember seeing it at a comic book store. It was J.H. Williams. So I don't know. I may get that. This is really cool. The next one's this is huge because I'm a big fan of this series. Spider-Girl, the complete collection. This is the Tom DeFalco and Ron Frenz run. It's the story of May Parker. In an alternate reality where, do you remember the part in the Revelations crossover? This is like the last story of the Clone Saga where Mary Jane is pregnant, she delivers the baby, and they tell her that the baby died. So her and Peter are heartbroken, and then it was Norman Osborn takes the baby, and apparently it was still alive, and they never went back to that. Like, nobody talks about it. It's just one of those Marvel things that happened years ago, and they're like, they ignore it. Well, this is what this story is. It's like the continuation of that. It was, what the hell was the Marvel 2? What was it called? I think it was the Marvel 2 line or something like that. Where it's like the future Juggernaut's kid, future Thor. Anyway, this was the only one. Are you listening to me or texting?
What? No, I'm paying attention to you.
Just kidding, man. Yes, Spider-Girl. Daredevil Epic Collection Revival that I will buy. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is some of the last few stories before. No, maybe they'll have another one before, because Scott Lobdell wrote some of the last stories before it was relaunched as a Marvel Night book. So this is volume 19 in the Epic Collections. We still don't know when the Epic Collections will end. I just assumed it was going to be during the time of Onslaught. But I think this is right post. No, this is before Onslaught. And then we have Defenders Epic Collection, the New Defenders. This is volume 8. Oh, this has the Iceman miniseries and the Beauty and the Beast miniseries. Oh, that miniseries sucked. And Defenders 126 through 137. Wow, they're pumping out the Epic collections. Okay, and then we have another Epic collection, the Fantastic Four. This is Volume 3, collecting the classic Coming of Galactus story. So this should collect, 33 through 51 in Annual 3. Another Epic collection, the Marvel 2-in-1, Cry Monsters. I assume this is Volume 1. Cool. I used to love those big Marvel team-ups and Marvel 2-in-1 books. I was like, man, I get twice as many heroes for the same amount of money. And then we have the Human Torch and the Thing. What is this? Is just, let's see. Strange Tales 101 through 134. Complete collection. And then for some reason they decided to reprint the Heroes Reborn Fantastic Four. Gabe will be excited for that. Still does not collect issue 13 because that was more of a Wildstorm issue. The Thing and the Human Torch by Dan Slott. I actually really liked this run. I thought it was good. So this collects The Thing 1 through 8 and Spider-Man Human Torch 1 through 5. And Fantastic Four World's Greatest Comics Magazine, trade paperback. And I think this collects the magazine 1 through 12. I think it's been out before. And we get a new collection of the Jonathan Hickman, not the Omnibus, sadly, but the complete collection, Volume 1, collecting Fantastic Four 1 through 5, Fantastic Four 570 through 578, and Dark Reign to Cabal. And the Marvel graphic comic box, The Amazing Spider-Man.
These are comic boxes and posters and things now.
Huh. Okay. Not for us, then. And that is that.
Okay.
All right. Some pretty cool things in there. Pretty cool Omnis. Obviously, I'm very excited about that Mutant Massacre Omnibus.
So am I getting out of here and coming back?
You're getting out of there, brother, and coming back.
Okay.
Let's see. Omnipool says, I think Spider-Girl was on Mark Miller's Old Man Logan. No, I don't think so, Omnipool. That would have required Mark Miller to actually have read a comic that came out before his. I think he just used a random character and made her like... Wasn't it Hawkeye's granddaughter or somebody that was the new Spider-Girl? Anyway. No, it wasn't May Parker. That character hadn't been tainted by Mark Miller. Let's see. Why FF World's Greatest? Yes, Jess, why? You were around back then.
Huh? What? Why FF World's Greatest?
Yeah, why is FF the world's greatest?
Because that's what Stan Lee called him.
All right. Good answer. All right. Let's see. Make Havoc. I'm with Gabe. I want that Fantastic Four. A lot of Fantastic Four coming out this year. Wonder what Marvel's trying to tell us.
Good question.
Marvel's trying to tell you they fucked up. They never should have let him go.
Right.
Hickman F4 trade paperback. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm surprised we got that too, Iron Cardinal, instead of a Omnibus. I was hoping we'd get an Omni resolicitation, but nope. Nada. Not yet. Maybe later. Who knows? Marvel does like getting your money. And I think, wasn't there a rumor that Hickman was like hanging out with Marvel guys? So maybe something's still in the works. Who knows?
Yeah, like a writer's retreat. There was a picture of him.
There's a good question. What is your guys' favorite Rebirth run?
My favorite Rebirth run is Red Hood and the Outlaws.
All right. Well, there goes any credibility Jess ever had. No, I'm kidding. I've heard really good things.
It's so much better than the New 52 run. It is super fun.
Yeah, but dude, we're talking about... Yeah, I know you like it, but we're talking about the best run of Rebirth, and you're going to go with Red Hood and the Outlaws.
Okay, I'm looking at everything right now.
I'm going to go with Superman. That was the one that I really, really liked. Followed by Detective and Batman. Batman.
Batman is awesome. But I get most excited for Red Hood and the Outlaws. I'm sorry. I just do.
Oh, that's okay, man. Maybe when you've read like 85 years worth of comic books, Red Hood and the Outlaws is where you end up in your later part of life.
Shut up.
Have you read Deathstroke? The
I have. That's actually very good. Yeah,
It
it was
is.
my first exposure to Deathstroke, and I found it really good.
Man, I'm surprised we haven't gotten an Omni out of that because Christopher Priest is a kind of a big deal.
Yeah, or
But
just hardcover collection of it. It's just trades right now.
yeah.
What's your favorite Rebirth? Oh, you said Superman or Batman. That's right.
Um, Definitely Superman, followed by Detective Comics, followed by Batman. But I'm a big fan of Action Comics as well. Um, Most of the Rebirth titles I really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've enjoyed the hell out of Green Arrow. Actually, maybe it was Green Lanterns, the one that I was trying to get into, and I really couldn't. I don't know why.
I think you've said that before.
I don't know if it got better, and either one of them, Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns and Green Lanterns. I read the first, I think, 12 issues of each, and for some reason I just stopped. So maybe I got mad that they didn't solicit a hardcover, or maybe I just lost interest in it. I don't know. I'll go back and read them. Omar, favorite X-Men of all time. All time? Oh, man. God Loves Man Kills. I think I've preached enough about that. Yeah, God Loves Man Kills.
Who's your
Or my
favorite X-Man?
Oh, my favorite X-Man is definitely not X-Man, Nate Gray. Uh,
Oh, you're killing Tyler Blunt right now. That's Tyler's
yeah,
favorite.
I know. Wolverine all the way. Yeah, always
Okay.
gonna. What about you, Jess? Magic?
Magic. Yeah, I love Magic. I need to read all the Magic I can this year. This is the year I want to just get washed over and swallowed up by Magic. Everything that I can of her. And I'm going to start really soon.
Okay. Okay. T. Stewart, I laugh every time he says my name like that. Oh, he made character. So yeah, Wolverine for me and Magic for Jess. Um, yeah, for sure, for sure. What omnibus are you guys thinking of picking up in the next few weeks? Well, Riley seems to be hyping up that Carnage omnibus, so I'm gonna probably take advantage of my loyalty discount because the 4% off goes until Friday. So unfortunately, it won't be next week. But at least I'll get that loyalty discount, so I'll take that and probably pick that up along with Flash Rebirth Volume 2. What about you, Jess? That's the next one for me. And of course, Weapon X, Wolverine Goes to Hell, Nightfall Volume 3. I'm going to pass on the Punisher Max because I own the hardcovers. So,
right.
What about you, my man? What are you going to get?
I do want to read that. I do want to read Carnage because I want to get caught up on the character. I know nothing about him, so I want to get that Omni and I want to read it. But it's going to take a backseat to the Gotham City Sirens that I'm going to be getting Friday, Saturday, or Monday, depending on UPS. Whenever I get it, time stops. Oh, I got to finish my Irredeemable read through, or it's going to take me extra long. So I'm going to try and pump that out before Sirens comes.
Yeah, Dave K is right. There's like 10 Omnis coming out in the next couple of weeks. I wasn't exaggerating. It's May is going to be huge, whereas April was kind of slow. Next couple of weeks are going to be huge. You got Absolute Preacher Volume 3. So it's going to be big. Matt Miranda's going to be picking up Preacher, and then his next Omni is going to be Morrison's Batman, which I can't wait for. Oh, Runaways Omni. Miles Morales Omni.
I want that I want that out Omni.
Holy shit! Did you break?
I did. My tongue just broke right in my mouth.
I'm still debating on whether I should sell my hardcovers of Runaways because I'm such a double dipper, and I just love Runaways so much because I think it's one of the best Marvel stories of the later years, of recent years. Even though shit, it's probably 15 years old now that I think about it. But I love Runaways. I thought it was great. And as I've said on this channel before, I don't think anybody can write those characters except for BKV. That's my humble opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my OHCs for that too.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. A smart man would do that. A logical man would do that.
Thank you.
A madman, not so much. Not so much.
Thoughts on the Weapon X Omni?
Fuck yes. I'm getting it. Got my favorite character. You see that cover of Bart Sears? That's actually the cover of that is the last storyline. It's they did a Days of Future Past Weapon X story, which was a 5-issue miniseries to wrap up the loose ends because unfortunately the title got canceled. Frank Terry's title got canceled, and at least they gave him the 5-issue miniseries to wrap it up. So it's kind of like Peter David's X Factor, as in the Weapon X project starts taking in a bunch of C-list characters like Marrow and Sauron. Oh, what's his name? Wild Child from Alpha Flight. Characters like that. Oh, and Kane from X-Force, and then of course Sabretooth. And they send them on like suicide missions and things like that. But there's one story in particular that I always go back to, and that is Sinister's List, which is kind of a take on Schindler's List, where they have like a mutant concentration camp, and and off screen, some beloved characters, beloved by Gabe, Maggot gets killed.
Oh.
Most of us were happy about that, though. Oh my God, Bon Jovi can write fucking Runaways. Al Pacino's Baby.
Al Pacino's Baby.
I would love that.
His writing style reminds me of a certain viewer from Cleveland.
Al Pacino?
Al Pacino reminds me very specifically of a certain fan from Cleveland. I believe this is an alias.
How many aliases does that guy have?
I don't know.
Iron Cardinal, I have read the first 6 issues of that new run. Say Willow, I can't remember whoever's writing it. It's okay. I don't like what they're doing. I don't want to spoil what they did. If people haven't read it, something comes back that I don't appreciate. I think it was better left off as is. So I've read the first 6 issues, so I don't know. Maybe I'll keep reading it. There is a recent post for the new slot Fantastic Four listing 2 characters joining the team. Who do you think they are? Herbie the Robot and Maggot.
Maggot.
Oh, really? 2 new characters joining the Fantastic Four? There's only 4. Are they going to replace Sue and Reed again?
With their kids.
You've seen the image, right, Jess?
I did see that image, yeah. The Esad Ribic cover.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Dan Slott and Sarah Pichelli, I really like her artwork, are going to be working on this. And I'm kind of excited. I like the bearded look to Mr. Fantastic. Tyler Trent seems to think it was their children. Yeah, it would make sense if it was Valeria and Franklin Richards. So same plan that we used the last time and 17 times before that. That's right, John Wilson. Got to recycle that shit every 5 years. For new readers. So who is taking Spider-Man from Slott? Tolga, that was Nick Spencer. Nick Spencer and Otley, the guy that was drawing Invincible, is going to be drawing Spider-Man. Now, if Nick Spencer channels his Deadly Foes, Nick Spencer, I'm completely okay with that. It could be a great and fun run. But if he channels his Captain America and Secret War, Nick Spencer, I don't know if I'll be happy with that. Or Secret Empire, I'm sorry, not Secret War.
No one special, no. You are not the only one here who wants a Hitman omnibus. We all want a Hitman omnibus.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I'm dying for a Hitman omnibus.
It's got one of my favorite endings to a superhero story. And Garth, I think it's also one of Garth Dennis's favorites too. I love Hitman. Why the hell don't we don't even have proper collections of that. It's a damn sin. Like, we get reprints of all these other shitty stories, like, Millennium. I'm trying to think of shitty DC stories. I can't right now. Cause I like
the Outlaws New 52.
Yeah, Red Hood and the Outlaws. Red Hood and the Outlaws Rebirth.
No, New 52. Shut up.
I'm kidding. But we don't have a proper Hitman collection. It's crazy. Some of those trades are out of print.
Yeah, they are. The first two are hard to find. I
Yeah.
think maybe some of the others are getting hard to find too.
Toga says he's gonna make his own Omni. Two Omnis of Hitman. Yep. That's the route I would take. I don't know. I don't know what DC considers Omni or hardcover worthy or even fat trade worthy. It's weird. Their collected editions department kind of sucked for a long time. They're finally getting their shit together. Except when you do stuff like, print the first 4-5 Robins from the 90s and then leave us dangling for more Birds of Prey. Or hell, Azrael, we only got one volume of that, and the Jim bouncing boobs and ass out Catwoman Volume 1, which is right up Jess's alley.
Woohoo!
Ricky C, thank you all for that 4% on in-stock trades. Finally pulled the trigger and bought the absolutes of Trans Metropolitan. Good purchases.
Good use of your money.
That's right.
Good use of your money. Because the third one is definitely coming out on time.
Yes, it is. Matt Miranda, are we all chipping in on getting that Louise, that Red Hood, and the Outlaws New 52 Omnibus?
It would end up in the same place if you guys sent me the Nightfall Omnibus.
Would you pour root beer on it?
No, I'd just put it in the dustbin.
You would at least donate it, right?
Yeah, I would donate it to it. I would donate it still sealed to a library.
Yeah, you just write off on your taxes. Red Robin by Yost and Question by O'Neill. Those are great.
Yeah, Question is great. Question needs to be collected, and that's
another
trade. Yeah, that first trade's impossible to find, and that's a great series.
Yeah, that's another one that DC dropped the ball on. Man, there's a lot that DC just said, fuck it. It was like, I don't know, whoever ran their collected department. We are very lucky we got Starman. Like,
yeah, you're probably right.
All 6 Starman Omnis, honestly, the way those things were coming out at the time.
Just don't forget to get Coyote's trade paperback. I ordered mine with the Omnibros discount. Right, I put it on my wish list last night. I won't be making another order this week, but I am going to get it next week. Coyote sounds badass. It sounds awesome.
The Epic Coyote? Or is it a new?
No, it's a new Image trade.
Oh, okay.
That Omnipool told Luis and I about last night, and we both went nuts over it.
I haven't heard of that. Iron Cardinal.
Sounds great.
Omar, thanks for the video on selling books. I was about to head to my local comic book store. Oh, you're welcome, man. Thank you for watching. I did a video on how I sell my books. Because
And that got viewers?
Yeah! You did a goddamn video on budgeting, asshat. Why would anybody watch that shit? This is when you have too much money and you got a budget. No, it was like, it's not that I don't have too much money. I'm just running out of space. My name is Just Bragg. Get the fuck out of here, man. Where the hell is Gabe? I need to go off on somebody, and it's usually yeah, I did a video on how to sell my stuff because I hate taking shit to I hate going to half price books, right? And this shit just irritates me. I go to half price books because first of goddamn all, it's called half price books, and I see Annihilation on there, and they have a damn price tag of $300. So even with a 50% coupon, you're still paying $150 for that damn book, knowing damn well they only paid you $25 for your copy of Annihilation Omni. That's the bullshittery I can't stand. That in comic book stores that don't actually acknowledge the fact that these things go out of print and hold value, but whatever.
Omar, sell Cuban Groove on Transhetero or Transmetero. Transmet.
Transmetropolitan. Yeah. How do I, without giving too much away, has one of the coolest characters, Spider Jerusalem. Like it was around the time, man, it was the 90s when that book was coming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you read all of it?
Back in floppies, I did back in the day. I'm collecting it in absolute so I can reread it.
It's got amazing artwork by Derek Robertson. It's probably one of my favorite. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably my favorite Warren Ellis story. I love Transmetropolitan. I think from beginning to end. Warren Ellis, unfortunately, has the habit of just, by the end of his run, not really giving a shit. But it seems to me the way that the story was written, he really gave a shit about the characters and where the plot was going. I think it was a story that was well ahead of its time, too. Like with the whole journalism. And I mean, this is before the age of Facebook and Twitter and all that. So,
yeah.
I can't say too much without giving it away. Maybe we should do a review of that book sometime. Maybe that could be the book I'll choose for reading instead of Avengers: The Crossing. That's only because I want you cocksuckers to buy Avengers: The Crossing.
Did you buy Action Comics 1000? Asked Matt Miranda. And if so, which cover did you buy? I got the Jock signed edition from Forbidden Planet and also the Mike Allred cover. Those are the two I got.
I did not. Because
why? Because it's got Bendis in it?
No, I don't collect single issues hardly anymore.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like, much like what Riley was saying, it would just be left out somewhere, So I'm in the hopes that they'll collect it somewhere in some kind of new, non-DC Rebirth line. I mean, it is Action Comics 1000. I thought this thing was going to be in hardcover. I had it confused with the 80 years, apparently. Mm-hmm. And apparently I wasn't the only one, because there were videos released of people being confused about Action Comics 1000 and confusing it with that 80 years of Action Comics.
Right.
Book that came out.
Here's a good question that I think is right up my alley. Mike F. asks, does the O'Neil Adams Green Lantern Green Arrow end the Silver Age?
Ooh.
In my opinion, yes. In my opinion, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and Conan, #1, the Barry Windsor Smith illustrated Marvel book, mark the beginning of the Bronze Age and the end of the Silver Age. That is completely subjective, because you can get 15 different other arguments about when the Bronze Age starts. But my opinion is, when those two books came out, that ended the Silver Age.
I have no opinion.
Okay. Good. Well, you can just accept my opinion as the proper one then.
Oh, that's a good theory. I kind of like that.
I go on your opinion all the time.
I don't know why you listen to me. So what would you consider the Bronze Age? Like when, like what the hell age are we living in now?
I think this is the modern age.
But isn't the modern age always going to be the modern age? We can't. I mean, that's so.
I guess in hindsight, it'll be called something else.
20 years from now, yeah. The modern age kids are going to be like, them fuckers weren't living in the modern age. That was like the food stamp age when Bendis was writing Action Comics.
Hater.
It could be good. I don't know. The digital age. Matt Miranda, thank you. We're living in the digital age, Jess.
Okay, we're living in the digital age. Sounds fine to me. I did not get Barbarella comics yet. I'm due to get some good Barbarella, though.
I've got the humanoid hardcover Barbarella.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
I should get that.
I like European comics.
Yeah.
Let's see. Best question ever. Who is the best Omnibro? Rob McClay. Jess, who would you say is the best Omnibro? All right. This is also the guy, need I remind you, that likes Red Hood and the Outlaws as the best DC Rebirth book.
And you're the one that likes Avengers: The Crossing.
Shut up, bitch.
Good comeback.
That book is underrated and wonderful.
Good heavens. There was a question earlier, and did Neil Adams' Batman begin the Bronze Age? My opinion is no, because that started in the late 60s. And I think it, while it was groundbreaking, it didn't bring the social commentary that Green Lantern, Green Arrow did, and it didn't change the way comics got involved in politics, really. I think that was the beginning, not the beginning, because I think Spider-Man covered a lot of stuff in the drug issues, but I think that was the beginning of social commentary and a conscience in comics, and so that's what I think makes it break the Silver Age right there. And Sam von Kluxenberg, I don't know that the Mets are still paying Bobby Bonilla. It's 2018. But if they are, that's really funny. I remember they were paying him for like 15 years, though. It was crazy. What a terrible trade that was. That had to have been that Steve, what's his name? I can picture him. He was an ESPN commentator. Steve, somebody. He was the GM for the Mets, and God, what an awful signing that was. Oy.
So Doom Patrol by Morrison's good. I liked it.
Me too. I loved it.
It was weird. It was like a weird take on X-Men, but I guess that's the way Doom Patrol was always supposed to be. Yeah, I was a big fan of that. It's huge. I suggest getting the hardcovers if you go that way. Not the gigantic omnibus, which is kind of hard to read, but...
Yeah, it is.
You know. Omnipool, all you are awesome. Each one gives us something the other Omnibros don't. So each one puts a special piece to the complete pie. So much knowledge takes on our wonderful hobby. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. And I'm going to translate that as Omar. Is the best Omnibro. Jess, are you...
I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around how you interpreted that.
Oh, I'm a smart reader.
I don't think so.
You got to read between the lines, brother.
No, I did not see anything between the lines there.
Let's see.
Everybody that's met me in person loves me, so that's awesome. Jess, who is your all-time favorite ball player? That would be Tom Seaver.
What kind of ball was that?
That is baseball.
Baseball. I like
they're going to pay Bonilla $1 million every year until 2035.
Bobby Bonilla?
Yes, guy. He played for them back in like the year 2000, if then.
Jeez, that must be nice.
Oh my gosh, he gets $1 million every year until 2035. What an I hate the word overrated, but boy, he was overrated and underperforming. That's hilarious.
Jess is a real person, ? Yeah, I think so. He has a lot of flaws, so he has to be, right?
Whoa, do you think I'm Gabe here? What do you mean I have a lot of flaws?
Oh no, Gabe is made of nothing but flaws. It just doesn't feel the same without him not being here, making fun of him. I almost feel guilty. Almost.
Almost. Did either of you ever read war comics like Sergeant Rock, Haunted Tank, or Unknown Soldier? I did as a kid. A lot of those books don't seem relevant enough in this age. I haven't revisited stuff like Haunted... You know, I feel like I read Haunted Tank recently, and I really liked it.
Was there a new Haunted Tank? I know there was a few, probably 10 years ago or more. Kubert came back and did a Sergeant Rock story, didn't he?
Yeah. And I feel like there was a recent Haunted Tank series in something that was really good, but I can't think of what it was. Maybe somebody in the chat can remind me. And Yes, Steve Phillips. That's what his name was. He got fired from 2 jobs for sexual harassment. One from the Mets and the other from ESPN.
What the hell are you talking about? How does your brain work like that?
See, that's what I remember. I don't remember. I don't have all this
comic books that you've read.
Right. I don't remember any comic books I read, but I remember everything about the Mets.
What was okay? So I read, of course, I think my favorite war comics were Tardy's. What was it? Jax Tardy's War of Trenches and Goddamn This War. Those were brilliant and were translated over to America. Garth Ennis had a title. What the hell was it called?
Battlefields.
Is it Battlefields? I thought it was something like, wasn't it?
I'm looking right at it, dude. Battlefields.
No.
He also had Garth Ennis War Stories.
The Rifle Brigade is the one I was thinking of. Was that collected in anything?
Good question. I don't know. Probably.
I really like that stuff. And I'm trying to think if there was anything else. There was a semi-manga. It was about a plane, World War II pilot, Wolf something, damn. And of course, the Nam. I mean, who didn't like the Nam by Marvel? And that's only had one hardcover. But unless I can count Mouse, can I count Mouse as a war comic? Maybe not, huh?
Oh, that's a good one. Justin Omar, if you had entrance music, I don't even know if Omar knows what entrance music is.
Of course I did. I watched wrestling.
Oh, all right. Anytime you walked into the room, what would it be?
Oh my God, You've Got the Touch by Stan Bush from the Transformers movie soundtrack.
Mine would be Kashmir from Led Zeppelin.
Wow, that's a long entrance song.
Well, they wouldn't play the whole thing.
Mine's like a minute and a half.
Mine's like 8 minutes. That's true.
It's a great question. Let's see. Any more questions?
Jess, have you read Twilight by Chaykin and Garcia Lopez? I have not. I don't even own it, I don't think. I got Twilight Children by Darwin Cook, but I don't have Twilight by Chaykin. Oh, yeah, or When the Levee Breaks. That reminds me of UOP, Matt Miranda, playing that to the max in my freshman dorm, listening to When the Levee Breaks. Matt's from my college hometown.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Immigrant Song by Zeppelin, pun intended. Julio Jimenez. Nice. Do you think Green Lantern will get a Bronze Age omnibus? Jess, you're a Bronze Age expert. What do you think?
If we're talking about the classic run of O'Neill, Adams, and Giordano, since it's already been released in an absolute, and it's going to be re-released in a deluxe edition called Hard Traveling Heroes, I don't see our getting that in an omnibus form. And I don't know that the rest of the Bronze Age after that of Green Lantern, excuse me, even though he appeared in Flash comics as a little side project in Flash after that. After that Adams run, Grell's as big a deal as Grell is now, he was not a very good artist back when he first started out for Green Arrow and Green Lantern. And I think interest in Green Lantern and Green Arrow just kind of dropped off a cliff once Adams left. So I don't see them ever collecting that in an omnibus. I don't think there was anything memorable in the 70s about Green Lantern once. I mean, he became a side book in Flash, just like a 7-page little after story. So I don't think there's enough material that anybody's interested in.
You'd buy it. I mean, so people are interested, right? If you haven't previously bought any of the other stuff collected. I mean, there is a market for these things.
Okay.
I'm not busting your balls about your answer. I'm just saying there's a market for these things, and DC seems to double dip on useless shit and not ever reprint the good stuff that we complain about that they should be. Somebody had a good question.
If you could be any comic book character?
I like that question. Yeah. What do you think, Jess?
I'd be Harley Quinn.
Yikes. Okay. I'm not the Joker.
Who would I really be?
Wolverine. All the way. Wolverine. I don't care if it hurts to get shot at, killed at, stabbed.
Yeah.
That's just such a badass character.
I'd be Deadpool.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. I like him. He's funny.
Well, that would mean you'd have to be funny, though. Like, the character, like, his abilities is what you gain.
Right. And so I'd be funny and grow everything back and have a hideous face. But a hot girlfriend.
Being funny is not his mutant power, though.
I mean, the writer's power.
If that's how you see it, Jess, that's fine. Speaking of Deadpool, dude, have you seen the new Cable and Deadpool trailer?
I haven't. It's supposed to be really good, is it?
It's funny. The Peter part really made me laugh. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but there's a part, and you'll know what I'm talking about. I thought it was hilarious. That part really made me laugh. I was at work and supposed to be setting up for a conference call with Canada, and I was just laughing my ass off, and everybody's like, what are you doing over there? And I'm like, oh man, I'm just setting up this conference call, and something funny I just remembered. Oh yeah, that part made me laugh way too hard. It looks promising. I wasn't that excited about the movie at first, but yeah, now I kind of am. Of course, not as excited as I am to assemble with my friends next Friday. Oh shit.
I'm going to see it the following weekend when there's nobody in the theater.
Everything is going to be ruined for you.
No.
And dude, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you're on Instagram, you're on Omnibroslive. John P's going to be drunk and be like, oh my God, did you like the part when they ripped out Iron Man's spine? And you're going to be like, dude, I haven't seen it yet. So just a heads up. You gotta live off grid when something this big. I mean, we're talking about Avengers, is like, Infinity War.
You are correct. This is
one of the most anticipated movies. Maybe I'm overhyping it, but that's just
you're right. And something's gonna happen.
You gotta live under a rock for a week if you're gonna wait. Like, we're not gonna see you on Omnibros Live.
Yeah, unless I see.
I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna text you and tell you what happened.
No, please do not.
I've never spoiled anything for anybody.
No, Iron Cardinal, I'll be watching it during the day when all the kids are still in school and there will be nobody in the theater. There may be people in the theater, but there will be hardly anybody. That's how I do all movies, and it's always worked out fine. I go during the day. Matt Miranda thinks I'm Elijah Snow. I just got done reading that book. That's great.
Planetary?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. He's a badass character. Yeah, maybe try to see it on Monday or Sunday morning.
Yeah, Dave K's right. Go at like 11 a.m. that Monday. That's when I'm going to do it.
Yeah, do that, man. And I would hate for something to get spoiled for you, even if it's through a meme, because we live on the age of, like, it's not like people don't care. It's just they don't think about it. That once they see something, it's, feel free to share a meme, even though it spoils something from the movie, right?
Yeah, that is a good point. I've made it through all the other movies, even the Star Wars movies, without having them spoiled. But this one just seems like it really could be something that could get spoiled for me.
Yeah, I would hate for that. Will they use next year's Avengers 4 to reintroduce the Fantastic Four? Wonderful question, Michael Bardo. 2019 is when we're supposed to get the mutants back, right? At Marvel Studios. So maybe they could take time to reintroduce some of these characters to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know. It would make the logical choice, right?
Yeah, you know more about it than I do. So that sounds like a yes.
Apparently the contract is like 2019 is when we're supposed to get the mutants back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Along with the Fantastic Four?
I thought it was a package deal, so maybe.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know. I don't know how that works, right? Because they still have that New Mutants movie coming out. Even though they're like, yeah, we're not releasing it until, I think it's been pushed back till next year,
I think
right?
it has been, yeah, and it's like almost complete, or it's already complete.
It was
pushed it
complete,
back.
and now they're reshooting, or I don't know what they're doing, honestly.
I love the fact that it has a dark theme, a
Yeah,
horror theme. That just sounds
absolutely.
awesome.
They're borrowing elements from the Demon Bear saga, which is one of my favorite stories. That was the Bill. What's his last name, Jess?
Huh?
Bill.
Bill what? Bill Finger?
Yeah. Not Bill Finger. Bill Sienkiewicz.
Oh, Bill Sienkiewicz. Sienkiewicz.
This is an interesting question from Melanie Cleveland. Don't know why she would know this, but Jess, did you break the news to Omar that you're not going to be his cameraman? Kind of curious as to what relationship you and Melanie Cleveland have that seems to be a lot closer than what you and I have.
Oh, Melanie, you're stirring up the pot.
Yeah.
I think I made a joke to Luis last night that I decided that I wasn't going to be your cameraman, that you were going to be my cameraman or something like that.
Oh, okay. It's because I'm darker skinned than you.
Yeah. It's all because you're Latino. Exactly. That's what I said that. Yeah, I said because he's Latino, he's going to be my cameraman. Yeah, okay. That sounds like my exact words.
That sounds like something you would say, and I wasn't there to defend myself.
Right. And I said it to Luis, another Latino.
Right. Totally.
That sounds like me.
I was like, what does she know that I don't
know? People write this stuff down so they can throw it back in our face the next day.
I love it. Al Pacino's baby. Hey now. Oh, that's gotta be that's John P. Let's see. Jake Gyllenhaal is Nova. Keanu Reeves is Adam Warlock.
Oh, is this who we're gonna? What question are they answering?
I don't know.
Oh, Justin Omar, what character that we have not seen thus far would you like to see have their own Marvel movie? I would like to see Nova.
Yeah, Nova can be the best Green Lantern movie that DC did not make.
Right.
Like Nova can be amazing, and it has to be Rich Rider Nova. I mean, Sam can make a little cameo. I'm okay with that, but it's got to be Rich. I think his story is just awesome. Marvel characters. There's let's see here. A Marvel character that has not made an appearance in a movie. Man, they are really pumping them out.
Yeah, I'm looking around in my collection, and lots of people have been made into movies or TV shows.
Or TV shows is the other thing. Just about every character I see on my shelf has been made into a movie. Longshot. There you go. Longshot could be fun. Longshot could be traveling through previous Marvel movies. Man, yeah, this is a pretty good question because holy shit, we've gotten a lot of comic book movies.
Yeah, we really have.
I really don't see anything that hasn't really been covered. I mean, Hercules from the Avengers, but what can you possibly do with Hercules that hasn't already been done? Agents of Atlas, how about that? I'd like to see an Agents of Atlas movie or a young superhero team like, well, I can't say Runaways because that's a TV show I stopped watching, but maybe like Avengers Academy. I loved Avengers Academy. Maybe I'd like to see that in the big screen. But the correct answer is Nova. Shang-Chi, that's a good one. Beta Ray Bill. I'd love to see Beta Ray Bill in a comic. Hellcat. Dude, Michael Lombardo, I wish Micronauts could be, that whole mess could be straightened out.
You are you a fan of the Runaways TV show?
Not really. Maybe it got better. I don't know, but I did not enjoy the first 5 episodes. They focus way too much on the parents. Not for me.
That's what I've heard.
I don't know. I mean, it could have gotten better. I only saw the first 5 or 6, something like that.
Yeah, I heard that it was like that for all 10 episodes.
Yeah, and that to me, you know, the show's called Runaways. I don't really give a shit about the parents. Who do so many readers dislike single issue stories? Has the practice of writing for trade conditioned readers to only like 6-issue arcs?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it seems like it was like editorial mandate to write for trades and hardcovers. I mean, honestly, that's the way most of these things were read, especially the Ultimate books.
Yeah, I was a big fan of one and done stories growing up, and it drove me crazy when modern age or digital age or whatever it is has turned everything into 6 and 12 arc issues. It drives me nuts, but that's the age we live in.
Yeah, I'm still a big fan of single issues, which we hardly get anymore. I think there was maybe one of X-Men Gold that I read recently, and there was one of All New Wolverine, and that's about it. Because most of these things are written for trade, sadly. Matt Miranda, I will not be getting God of War for tomorrow. Mainly because I still haven't played God of War 3. Video games seem to have taken a hit when I have just too many hobbies. That's my problem. And kids. So I think video games have just, unless it's like a portable video game, I really don't play that much. Unless it's with like my family, like playing. Like my kids and I are gonna go through Ni no Kuni 2. I don't think we're gonna go through God of War 4. Probably not. It'll probably be me. But I do need to make time for it because I need to go ahead and finish 3, play that, and beat Uncharted 4. I'm so behind on these things.
Oh, Uncharted 4 was great.
Justin Omar, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? Oh, man.
Invisibility.
Time travel. But I would be a supervillain. For sure. There's no doubt in my mind I'm too weak. I would join the dark side.
I would definitely want to be invisible.
Perv. I just want to time travel to go gamble. And, hang out with dinosaurs and shit. I've not played the first 3 God of War games, but I'm picking it up. Awesome. Good for you, man. I will tell you this, Matt, or anybody that plays video games that will remember this. There is a part in the first God. Have you played the God of War games, Jess?
I played the first one.
Okay. So in the first one, I was literally questioning, oh my God, I think I've gotten too old for video games. Because there's a part where this dude is in a cage and you have to sacrifice him to a fire pit.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And the whole time the guy's begging, he's like, no, please don't, please, I have a family, I have a wife and kids. And I realized that as I'm pushing him, Omar, is saying, apologizing, like, man, I'm so sorry, dude. I don't want to do this, but apparently I got to because there's no way around this. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm apologizing to this fictional video game character, and I realized, holy shit. Like, 15-year-old me would have loved that. Playing that in my 30s, I'm like, oh, man, this poor guy, his whole family's going to suffer just so I can get through this door. I was thinking way too much about it. That and the Call of Duty games, whenever you got to, like, sneak up on the German Shepherds and dogs come and bite you and you have to break their necks. I'm like, I can't do that, man.
I know. I hate that.
Yeah. I get too old for playing video games.
Hey guys, says Sean Ward. Love the show. A couple of questions. Have either of you gotten any of the PS art books? I picked up the Phantom Lady slipcases. Ooh, that sounds good. But wasn't sure if any others were worth getting. I am not the guy to ask about PS art books. I do not collect them, but I love Phantom Lady, so that would be really cool.
My question is, what are PS art books, Jess? What does PS stand for? Is that
I believe it stands for premium size. They're like really big art
Oh,
books.
they're huge. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
they're expensive.
no, I don't collect those. I do like art books though, but mine are usually non-premium size. They're smaller and cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Also, is Seven to Eternity still going? To the best of my knowledge,
Yep.
it is.
It is. It's just he's not the fastest artist, Which whatever, I can wait. There's a bunch of other Remender stuff that still comes out on semi-time, like Black Science and Deadly Class. Speaking of Black Science, I think the newly released re-release with the good binding comes out in May.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy VI or Chrono Trigger is the greatest game ever. Ooh, Final Fantasy VI for me. I love that
I
game.
never played either one of them, so I don't know.
Stop what you're doing right now and go play Final Fantasy VI. I don't give a shit about reading comic books. Go play Final Fantasy. Don't read Red Hood and the Outlaws Volume 3. Go play Final Fantasy VI. You feel kids are taking up comics as a hobby more or less. I heard a comic shop I was in, the owner said people that come in and are primarily adults. Good evening, Cuban Groove. Lloyd, that's a great question, man. I always wondered that.
I don't think kids can afford comic books anymore. They're so expensive. I remember giving a ride to a kid back when he was in high school with my daughter, and he loved comic books, but he said he couldn't afford them. And I think that's just the sad fact that they're, $5 a piece, and kids spend their money on video games instead.
I think I remember when I was growing up in the 80s, there was one of my friends said, what did he call it? He called it the the candy bar formula. So if a comic book ever costs more than 3 times what a candy bar is when he was going to stop collecting comic books.
Oh, that's a good rule.
And because that's the way it was when we were kids. Like, we had enough money to get like 3 pieces of candy bars to go buy a comic book. And we would always choose a comic book. Now you can't give a kid $4, like maybe $4. That's not even going to cover the tax to go buy some of these books, let alone 5.
Yeah,
that's just way too expensive. That's why some of us like to trade weight.
exactly.
It seems to be cheaper. Jay Montgomery, do they still make Marvel Masterworks books? Yes. Number 17 of, what was it, Iron Man just got solicited? Or Thor, I can't remember. We just looked at the solicitations, and one of them got solicited. So yes, they still make them. This is why I stopped collecting floppies. That is really the reason why I stopped too. Has the direct market been bad for comics in the long run? Didn't it turn a mass market item into a niche? Man.
Well, they were easier to find when I was a kid.
Because they were everywhere. I mean, they were at the farm, they were at the pharmacy, they were at the grocery store, they were at gas stations.
Yeah.
Direct market, but then again, I feel bad because the direct market had to survive those 90s years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what else could they do besides sell Beanie Babies and other items to survive, because comics weren't selling? You had to offer special variant covers or things like that. And then they took them out of Walmart. I mean, Walmart was killing the sales of comic book stores because Walmart's had like a bag, right, of like 5 or 6 Image Comics #1s, like Spawn #1, Savage Dragon #1. Whereas comic book stores, I mean, and they were selling them for $5. And comic book stores didn't have that stuff. They couldn't even keep Spawn #1 in stock. And so, I don't know. I feel like they did, but I feel like they also had to in order for the comic book stores to survive. Because I'm actually surprised we still have as many comic book stores as we do now.
Mm-hmm.
Considering things like Toys R Us has been taken out by Amazon. I mean, it's got. I mean, we also have, you have DCBS. You have other places where you can order comic books online, pre-order comic books online at 40% off, shipped to your house on a weekly basis. So there's really no need to step at a comic book store. The need to step into a comic book store is to get that human interaction with the same people that you can talk about these things and they're not confused, right? You can't do this at work. I can't. And this is why I love doing this, because I don't have a comic book store around me. It's in a couple towns over, but I miss having that. I used to work in a comic book store, and some of my best memories come from meeting the people there, the interesting people that I would meet reading comics. And I would miss that. That's why I started my Near Mint Condition channel, because I miss getting together with my friends talking about this stuff, and why I love doing this with Jess and the guys, because I miss that human interaction. And that's why comic book stores are still around, I think, because people like talking to other people about comics, and you get used to these people. I mean, Jess, you go to Third Eye, right?
Yeah.
Right. Why do you go there?
Because of the great service, and they tell me what is great and what I should read. So I love that. They really single-handedly helped me really just jump headfirst back in 2008, just dive headfirst into all kinds of great comics 10 years ago. It was awesome.
I feel like you have a lot of comic advisors. Like, they're everywhere.
Anybody that gives me advice on a comic, they're my comic advisor.
The chat's the comic advisors. Me and Gabe are comic. Riley's a comic advisor. Your comic advisor is an actual legit comic advisor.
Yep, that's right.
Great. Somebody asked, where are all those spinner racks? Probably in a recycled field somewhere. And by the way, there's a Kickstarter for spinner racks too. I think Gabe pointed it out to people on the Facebook group. Let's see. One of my neighbors, Dave K., one of my neighbors had a comic book shop in his basement. Later on, opened a store down the road. Nowadays, my nearest is 40 minutes away. I rarely go to the store unless they advertise to sell. That's the way one of my the store that I worked at started. He opened up his place in the in his basement, and he would sell me books that I wasn't old enough to buy.
Oh, nice.
The mature books, when I was 12 years old, I'm like trying to sneak them in between my X-Men and my Avengers, and he's like, he didn't give a shit. He was like, oh yeah, they got titties in it. I ended up working for him for a couple of years.
But one thing, Omar, not all comic book stores are customer friendly, says Omnipool. Many are terrible. You go in and they give you the look. They just want you to grab your stuff and leave.
That's what happens when you put introverts work in there. That's sad. I hate that, because I like a good atmosphere at comic book stores. I would think that's the reason why most of them are still open. Yeah, sure as hell can't be the damn discounts you get. What's the most you get at a comic book store? 10 to 15% off? 20 maybe?
Yeah.
Hell, even trades, 20 to 25% is what they usually give you. That's not a lot. Omar with the Miss America speech. Now answer this. How would you bring about world peace? Shit, I ain't got the answer for that. I just love comic books, man.
Yeah, my daughter and I this summer are gonna go to New York City together. And I said, well, I'd like to go to some comic book stores. And she said, oh, this place I want to get these special gluten-free breakfast muffins is right across from Jim Hanley's Universe. And I said, no, thank you. That was the worst customer service I have ever gotten in a comic book store. I have no desire to go back there.
Really?
Get it.
What made it bad?
They had that attitude. I mean, it's a huge store, and there was tons of staff on the floor, and none of them could be bothered to help me with anything. They were typical antisocial nerds that just stereotypically, like comic book guy in The Simpsons, just, you are on my list. It was just, leave me alone. I do not want to deal with you. It was the worst experience I've ever had in a store. I just can't imagine that I'd go back.
Man, I'm sorry. That sucks. I tend to not like. The only bad experience, and I can't say it was a bad experience like that at a comic book store, was I was helping out. Actually, it was another customer. They were asking about. This is during Peter Milligan's run on X-Men. the really shitty Blood of Apocalypse storyline, where he was bringing Sunfire back, right? And the guy was like, "Oh, who's this character?" He was asking me, right? And I was like, "Oh, that's probably Sunfire. He lost his legs and blah blah blah." The guy working behind the counter starts a sentence with, "Actually, that's Pyro." I hate when people do that. That's a fucking pet peeve of mine. Don't butt into my conversation, cocksucker, and start it off with "actually," because already I'm gonna get on the defense. So like, yeah, he just comes from behind the counter and he's like, "Actually, that's supposed to be Pyro," and I'm like, "No, man, dude, that's Sunfire. That's his Age of Apocalypse costume." He's like, "Yeah, but Pyro's dead and he can wield fire," and I'm like, "Don't go down this road with me, dude." He was asking me for help, man. Oh, that kind of shit irks me because I'm like, I could be really dorky and go on a fucking nerd duel with this guy. But you know what? I'm going to be the better guy, the bigger guy, and just step away. God damn it. I should have gone back in there and be like, "You know what? Actually, cocksucker, let me tell you about fucking Pyro." Sorry. As you can tell, that still gets on my nerves.
Rob McClay, don't go to Jim Hanley's Universe in New York City. Midtown Comics Omnipool was pretty good. I got good service there, so I'd like to go back there. But Jim Hanley's Universe in New York City, not a chance. Not even ever. Sam asks, how was the customer service at Golden Apple? Well, that was 1985, so I don't know. I remember it as being sort of arrogant, but that's the best I can remember.
Sort of arrogant.
Yeah, I remember he was arrogant and lecturing me about Dark Knight Returns.
Was he a comic advisor? Did he tell you to buy 80 copies?
I should have. Melanie, just tell us about watching the 10th inning of Game 6 of the 1986 World Series. I remember it perfectly. If you want to know.
Who was playing?
It was the Mets and the Red Sox. That's when, you don't know anything about baseball, but that's when Mookie Wilson hit the ball between Bill Buckner's legs.
Dreams. Go ahead.
Mookie Wilson hit the ball through Bill Buckner's legs at first base, and the winning run scored because they were about to lose, but the winning run scored and sent it to Game 7, which the Mets won, and they won the World Series. Had he made the out, it would have been all over. But Ray Knight scored the run. I was sitting in. My brother had a tiny baby at the time, 1986, wasn't even a year old, and I was in his living room in LA watching the game with this tiny baby asleep. The hit happens, it goes through Buckner's legs, and I can't scream, I can't do anything because I was outrageously happy. So I'm jumping up and down, mouthing the words "yay," but no sounds coming out of my mouth. So I'm like, yeah, 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 because I couldn't wake up this baby. So I was a complete lunatic. So that's what happened, Melanie Cleveland.
Wow, you remember like that was yesterday, dude.
Oh, I do. Yeah, you don't forget something like that.
1986. Good Lord. 32 years ago.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I hate thinking about things like this. My superheroes are still the same age.
Yeah, they never age.
My superheroes were old when I was a kid. I'm like, oh my God, these guys are so old. Now it's like they're younger than I am. That's awesome. Did you ever collect baseball cards, Jess?
I did for a little while as a teenager. I still have some of them. I doubt I kept them in any kind of decent condition. Not like I kept my comics in good condition. I don't think I kept them in good enough condition for them to be worth anything. But I did collect cards in let's see, how old was I? Probably early 70s.
You know what you needed,
like
my
11.
friend? What you needed, my friend, was a card advisor. I collected Garbage Pail Kids cards.
Oh, that's cool.
And like Mars Attacks cards and
I remember Garbage Pail Kids.
Dinosaurs Attacks. Actually, I got them out and I bought some because my daughters love looking at them. So I was like, oh, awesome. We can get into collecting together.
Yes, I'm aware that all of you were young people back in '86. I get it.
I was a sperm. Fantastic Four novels.
Yes, I get it. I'm older than you are. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. That means that your Social Security is higher and you might actually get it.
I might get it. I'm getting close to it.
You can retire and enjoy comic books before any of us can even think about that.
Right.
So that's what it is, man. That's awesome. All right, time for one more question and call it a night. Here we go. Jess, have you been to Barbarian Comics? Andrew Carrillo wants to know.
I don't think so. Where is it? Is it in New York City? Jess is spry. Thank you, Melanie. Andrew, where is Barbarian Comics? I don't think I've been there.
I'll give him a second to answer.
Well, while we're waiting, why don't we talk about our fabulous sponsor?
Sure. Our fabulous sponsor is InStock Trades, www.InStockTrades. So go there, make one more order before the 4% off ends. And that code is OmniBroslive, not case sensitive, for an additional 4% off. It doesn't stack up with your loyalty points, but 4% off is a great deal. Go get that Gotham City Sirens Omnibus.
Nice.
They offer free shipping when your order is $50 or more. And they do offer international shipping. And they also sponsor our wonderful, wonderful $50 giveaway card that we're going to do on the 30th, right, Jess?
That sounds right.
Yeah. So I believe on April 30th, tune into this channel for a live giveaway for a $50 in-stock trades. I don't want to say gift card because they'll mail you a code to use. So it's also for international people. And I think our last winner was international. So that's awesome. That at least helps you cover that shipping charge.
Right.
It was in Maryland, by the way.
Yeah, Wheaton. Yeah, Wheaton's not far from me. I'll go check it out. Thank you, Andrew. I'm happy to go check it out. That's a lot closer to me than Third Eye is, but I would never give up my loyalty to Third Eye, but I would like to go check out something close. So I'll give Barbarian a chance if you think it's good.
Wow, Caldwell Comics. Closest comic shops to me are in Norfolk, Chesapeake area. That's 3 hours away. Oh my God.
Caldwell, where do you live? Norfolk is like 4 hours from me.
Are you in Virginia?
I am, yeah. Are you in Virginia?
No, I know where you are.
Oh, okay.
I was wondering if he was. Man, 3 hours away. Yeah, you're better off with those online orderings.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Omar, where can they find you online?
Thank you for asking, my friend. They can find me on my YouTube channel called Near Mint Condition, where we have a new show. Well, we're supposed to have a new show every Thursday. Our new show will come out this Saturday. We had some technical difficulties. And I'm also starting a segment called Old Reader, New Reader, where two of my friends are reading a comic book for the first time, and I'm going back and rereading it again to see if it still holds up. And our first choice was Infinity Gauntlet because of the Infinity War movie. So that is Near Mint Condition. And my friend Jess, where can they find you?
They can find me on YouTube at OmniDog's Vault and on Instagram at OmniDogs_Vault. And that will wrap up another episode of OmniBros Live. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, all our viewers. Thank you for watching us. Please subscribe. Hit the smash the like button. Hit the smash button.
Hit the smash button.
This is what I must be thinking. I'm playing Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble. It's having trouble here. That's okay. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. We always have fun. And peace and love. Peace and love.
Good night, everybody.